porn itself. It's Margaret. No, it's true. I want audience feedback because I haven't seen porn for years. I'll be honest, I'm not really into it. But I looked at this porn about 2 months ago. I went to my mate's. He said, "You fancy watching some porn?" I said, "No, not really." I said, I'd rather watch a decent film. He said, "This is a decent film." I said, "No, you know what I mean." I said, "Something you can go and see in the cinema." So he said, he said, "Well, look, we ordered a takeaway and we're having a couple of pints." And he goes, let's watch this porn. So when the takeaway came, and I'm sat there, and I'm just gonna get into a spring roll, and he put this film on. Oh my God! I don't know when bum licking became a thing. That totally missed me out. That did. Sorry? They were both doing it. They were absolutely right up for it. And I've got to say, as a man of the world, I like to think that I've tried most things. But I'll tell you one thing I won't be trying. There's not a woman in the world that could convince me to do that, I'm telling you. When did that become a thing? I said to him, "That's disgusting, turn it off." He said, "No," he said, "it gets better." I said, "That can't get better." "When did that start?" He said, "It's reaming." I said, "I don't care what it is." I thought reaming was counting paper, not being a dirty bastard like that. He said, "It's salad tossing." I said, if I went to a restaurant and they gave me a salad that tasted like that, it'd be no thank you. Well, bloody hell, Michelin Award about 10 that'd be, wouldn't it? Disgusting. When did that become a thing? And how does it, can I just have a show of hands? Can you put your hands up well, it hasn't got to be during sexual activity, but during sexual activity you've ever licked a bum? Well, David, do you know what? I would have actually just won 100 quid if someone had asked me. So, a bum. An anus, a rectum, a salad. Yeah, no, when did that start? But what I'd like to say is, how do you broach that subject? When you're new in a relationship, can I just ask you two how long you've been together? How long have you been together? A year and a half. Wow, crikey. Yeah, never licked each other's. No. Well, that's what I want to know. How do you broach the subject? When you're sitting there, I don't know. This has disturbed me since that night, I'll be honest. Because I've been in some romantic situations. I know it's hard to believe, but I have. And I'm thinking, let's just say that I did want to lick a bum. I'm there saying to her, your eyes look lovely to me. Whoever done your hair, I'll tell you what, that was well worth 70 quid. And you're just beautiful. You're like, I don't know, you're like Aphrodite. No chance licking your bum, is there? So yeah, porn. It's I had to get out of my system.
Glen, Maney in the house tonight, cracking jokes and dropping light. Conspiracy today, tomorrow's truth. Laugh so hard you might lose a tooth. Truth through humor, that's the plan.